Angela Rayner is often disgraced, and today we will talk about what she did that completely changed the course of our country's history. The focus will not only be on the scandal of insulting an investor company. Let's get started.
This is a real blow and embarrassment to the government ahead of their flagship summit at a time when they should be doing everything they can to help the economy, attract international investors here, to be bad-mouthing a firm that's based here, that's seeking to invest and expand. And on the back of the anti-business, pro-trade union legislation we've seen this week, it's a real...
DP World has suspended investments in the amount of £1 billion after criticism of PO ferries. This was a serious blow to the government before the investment summit, and Angela Rayner and Louise Hay completely disrupted preparations for the event. DP World has revised its investment plans, which were supposed to be the key moment of the summit. Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem cancelled his participation in the event. In 2022, British PO ferries laid off 800 employees, which caused a storm of discontent among politicians and trade unions who condemned the intention to hire cheaper temporary workers. At the time, PO ferries explained the need for a rapid and significant change in its policy by saying that otherwise the business would not have been able to remain sustainable. I don't understand why they said that and completely blew the deal.
Yeah, and I think this, as Nick says, this shows the naivety of the government. Angela Rayner in particular, I mean, she was picked because she's terrible. Keir Starmer was like, I need somebody there who's so dismal that even when everybody wants to get rid of me, they won't because they can see who's going to replace me.
Yeah.
So
is this what you want? And he just points to her.
And Labour are just doing this sort of Venezuelan speed run. We're gonna collapse harder than Argentina.
From the very beginning, I was impressed by Angela Rayner. Only a fool would not have noticed how much effort she put into achieving success in politics. She took care of her mother from childhood and gave birth to a child at an early age. I also like that she asked the staff of the House of Commons not to correct her speech, allowing herself to make grammatical mistakes sometimes. Rayner was always quick to react to any scandals she encountered. However, after she took up the post of Deputy Prime Minister, she was attacked by accusations. Her strange behaviour after successfully taking office was a real shock. Now she, along with her taxpayer-funded personal photographer, looks like a caricature of a corrupt conservative aristocrat. I wouldn't be surprised if Lord Ali gave her a house.
The pirate.
Well, it doesn't matter why they did it, does it? It's their decision. They've got their own business sense, and here's Labour coming in and criticising them for running their business the way they want to, Nick.
You could say that. I would love to have heard the argument, though, with it. Rayner just, they're unscrupulous, as you just said, and then Starmer going, you've cost us $1 billion. It sounds like Dr. Evil. Anyway, she's not necessarily wrong, though, is she? I mean, when this scandal hit, when they just suddenly sacked 800 employees and replaced them with cheap overseas staff, everyone was saying the same thing, so she's not necessarily wrong.
Although it seems that Starmer's intervention saved the deal, the fact that these two flighty women loudly announced the new legislation in protest against the sailors, calling PO ferries a fraudulent operator. And this, of course, does not correspond to the position of the government. I think the Starmers spent hours on the phone to minimize the damage and confirm their statements. A lot of discussions took place overnight, and guarantees were given that the government did not support the boycott. DP World has announced the continuation of its activities and announced that its chairman Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem will attend the summit. It is sad to see how £1 billion and thousands of jobs are almost disappearing due to inappropriate comments, because at such a pace the economy could be at risk.
Treating your workforce fairly and being a business giant is not an either or. The co-op is proving that you can do both. Now we want to take that model of decent, secure work right across our country. Because let's be clear, working people have had to wait too long.
Rayner spent £68,000 on a photographer to improve her image. If she really wants to strengthen her credibility among voters, here are some tips. You shouldn't accept gifts, including clothes and a trip to a penthouse for £2.5 million, and then say that you need these bonuses because you are from the working class. Do not allow yourself to dance in a club in Ibiza on a day when your party leader makes gloomy statements that we are all doomed and at the same time look like you are having fun. Don't try to justify it by saying that you like dancing because you're from the working class. Do not spend $48,000 on municipal housing, and do not try to circumvent the rules for the sake of quick profit. Talking about working class women may have helped her get ahead. But now it's making the whole country tired. Try to be more restrained, but I'm afraid it might be too much of a challenge for Rayner.
look at what we can do when we come together. The biggest expansion of workers' rights in a generation, a genuine living wage, more power and control for local communities, the renters' rights bill stopping no-fault evictions, buses back in public hands, and the railways on track to public ownership. Great British Energy launched and new homes across the country. Friends, that's what we fought so hard for.
Rayner announced that the government plans to increase the annual construction of new homes to 370,000 people, as opposed to the current target of 300,000. Builders and investors have long expressed dissatisfaction with the fact that planning legislation makes their work difficult, and local communities often delay the process of reviewing projects and challenge them in court. Polls show that the population is against construction in all territories, and Labour has proposed creating a new category of grey belt sites with lower quality located next to existing buildings or roads. In addition, the government is seeking to simplify the process of building important infrastructure, including projects to install onshore wind turbines and solar panels. By the way, this nightclub in Ibiza, where Angela Rayner danced in the video, has been criticized in the past for the intolerant behavior of bartenders and bouncers. She protested against discrimination and was photographed dancing at 4 a.m. the same day. I'm already beginning to doubt her sincerity. The establishment, where a bottle of water costs 14 euros, a bottle of beer costs 17 euros, and a gin and tonic costs 50 euros, received 2.5 points, and more than half of the reviews called it terrible and bad. Visitors could receive harsh insults from employees and even physical violence.
But would you like to take this opportunity perhaps to apologise to the 14,000 people in Ashton-under-Lyne who voted for a Tory and the Tory scum that you describe, by suggesting, and now you're suggesting, that somehow their choice, they made a choice to be racist, homophobic and scummy?
Yeah, let me be clear, I am not saying that anyone who voted for the Conservatives are racist, scummy and homophobic.
Angela Rayner did support her description of Conservatives. Amid tensions with Starmer over the party's proposed rule changes, she refused to apologise for her remarks, which were made at a reception at the Labour conference. But she allegedly justified her comments by saying that they were made in street language. She said she would only apologise if Boris Johnson apologised for his past comments. That is, it will never happen. I still think that any politician should first of all be a diplomat and not allow himself to make too slang statements. What do you think about this video? Write your opinion in the comments. See you.